Hello, Guten Morgen, and welcome to the college. In this video, we take you everywhere and answer the many questions asked for years. What are the Farlands? Why is it £3.25 for a sandwich? As well as looking at all the other hidden areas around the college, and more. So, without further ado, let's begin. If you're watching this, then you've just been accepted into college. Hooray! Or nay, depending on how you feel about the education system. In this video, you'll learn the many steps to surviving college, as well as the things that the average onlooker will overlook. But first, how did the college become the financial overlords they are today? The early days. The story of the college begins back in the days when it was all but a simple farmland, owned by a young farmer named Jeremiah. But all wasn't simple in those times, as amongst the crops was another business. However, this one was more shady than simple vegetables, as he sold umbrellas. Oh, and drugs. Eventually, Jeremiah fell to his death, as in 1912, the year the Titanic sank, so did Jeremiah, as a branch crushed him and he died, under the old apple tree. Eventually, the land was sold off, and in the war was used as a small station, with the farmhouse being repurposed as waiting rooms. This small station also had a nearby airfield. Both were helpful in the war efforts. However, in 1982, the college was built. But the college didn't just arrive by itself, as it also bought lawsuits, as the local aviation company also wanted to repurpose the runway. The college was eventually able to win the suit, again for better or for worse, depending on how you feel. In fact, the long corridors used are a result of the old runway being resurfaced into it. Before you earn your college surviving privileges, you have to learn what it's all about, because it's more than just a big hunk of wood, as it has more rooms on the inside. When you first enter the college, you'll be presented with a lanyard. But why have one when you can have three? This can be used to get scanned in. But the day doesn't start when you walk in here, because the proper entrance is over there. Luckily, we have this exclusive footage during the busy hour. I said the busy hour. Look at all those happy faces getting ready for another day at college. If you make your way along this corridor, eagle-eyed students will notice the large private sign on the door, as room R17 is home to the resident aliens. Back in 1982, a UFO was spotted while the building was under construction. In true college fashion, it was shut down and locked away. Due to the college's fear of the nuclear apocalypse, the staff must perform daily checks to make sure the alien is still there. We caught up with college historian T.J. Vasquez to tell us more about the incident.
This room, man, well, I've never been in there, but I know because I've seen it. Sometimes they let it out. Its piercing glare, it haunts my dreams. Usually history fascinates me, but this, it scares me.
However, don't be fooled by the private sign on the room next door, as it is just a bathroom. When building the college, it was figured that people would go better if they heard an alien screaming next door. Ah! Don't be too frightened though, as the room only contains sulfur hexafluoride calcium carbonate as well as zinc. As you make your way along this hall, the atrium appears. The atrium is home to not just one, but 2 food stalls. While you're here, don't forget to support the shop called Inclusively Yours. Let's have a look at some of the new state-of-the-art technology you can find here. No, not the laptops, but observe the carefully placed food enhancers, refreshment helperoonies, and drink holders. Let's watch this demonstration of a drink holder in action, from one food place to another, as we come to the canteen. Here you find the vending machines, overly long lines, as well as cobwebs. Like, really big cobwebs. But what if you see something in the canteen that looks tasty and mouth-watering? But you, the average civilian, or collegian, as we like to say, have no money. What do? Why, you steal, of course. Just make sure the security aren't around. If they aren't, then steal too. Free. 4 Fantas. If stealing isn't your forte, then try interfacing with the vending machines. Ordering food isn't the hardest thing. Remember, if you don't quite get the food you want there are other ways you can get rid of it, such as hurling it at the vending machine, hurling it at a person, giving it to someone, and running away, kicking the machine, and everyone's favorite, dropping it off the top of a very tall building, and running away. They're chaotic like that. However, sometimes the vending machines decide they want to do things their way, and you'll see them break the mold of a typical experience and rob you, and not give you your food. On the 5th Wednesday of every month, they may talk to you. Depending on what you talk about, results may vary. They're very opinionated. These vending machines are home to Estonia's favorite prank show, Food Fright. Where'd you get the script? So what do you think of the controversial talking vending machines that speak on the 5th Wednesday of every month?
Well, I think they're very convenient for one thing.
Well, I don't know. I'm too cool to be knowing about this, man, but I guess one of them might be racist. You better give me an interview too, or there will be a hole in your ribs. Well, we'll catch up with this area again later. Our next stop is the mysterious Farlands. The Farlands have existed as pretty much as long as the college has. Not much is known regarding the construction of them, or who really hangs out here. What is known is the wondrous view you get from the top, spanning the car park. While the Farlands are open to anyone, remember, you can give your colleagues a friendly nudge back down the stairs if you don't like their presence. Remember the Farlands code: far, as in far away so you don't get caught, and land, as in it's a free country, baby. Thanks to the college giving the staff, and only the staff, the latest high-tech gadgets, they can make sure no one stands, or sits, or does anything. With the college innovating such tech as cloning machines and teleporters, you can be sure to see your peers everywhere. Why, look at this teacher. There's not just 1, not 2, but 3 of them. Unfortunately, however, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the modern hardware zone yet. As if 2 of the same teacher see each other, dire consequences may happen. Uh-oh, he's standing next to the water dispenser. But don't worry, there will be more of the teachers later. And a quiz on this too. As we continue to make our way around the college in a most peculiar fashion, our next stop is the study center. We'll have to keep our voices down and put our fingers on our lips. We can just tiptoe around this room with pods for studying, or if you're feeling really kinky, storing a body. When the college first opened, this was a... Our next stop brings us to one of the most popular places to hang out in college, the courtyard. Ew.
The workers who cleaned this fountain made sure all the moss was gone. Little known fact about the fountain is that it used to be timed, but now it's constantly going off. Ha ha! You are no match for me, you fools! Give me the camera, or else you will drown! Aha! I see the game you want to play, but you asked for this.
Quick, give him the camera. He's getting out the hose.
Haha, you fools. Now you have no footage.
See you scum later. It's time to give myself an interview. Ha 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 ha. Let's just go to commercials. Coca-Cola. Buy our drink from the vending machine, then see our name on a bin. An average day. On an average day at college, you'll find your lessons can start at any time, so your college will constantly remind you to never sleep. It's important to make your way to class as fast as you can, but not too fast, as it can lead to trouble. Anything from a fine for speeding in the corridor, all the way to deaf by monkeys. Observe closely the keep a distance from each other sign on the floor. But let's see what happens when this isn't followed. The college will also remind you that the floor is always right. When you enter the college, it's important to know how to look. Smart casual clothing, your bag, and a hat, for the ladies of course. Let's look at 2 different examples of this. Clean workspace, mouse in position, and computer logged on. You're doing great! But what happens when you don't do that? Clothes everywhere, hitting the computer, sitting on the chair backwards, and worst of all, he bought a lilt drink. Your relationship with your desk should be as clean as the one with your teacher. Before you start work, it's important to go up to your colleague's chair and put one foot on the lift, and watch as they slowly sink to the ground. They may be mad or surprised, but it's all part of the job. If you can't do that, then you can always tap their chair and they go flying down the room. When typing, remember to never be distracted, but don't worry, as that shouldn't happen. When getting up your work, you'll have to wait at least 15 minutes to get started.
15 minutes later.
As the computer decides it wants to load. Sign in again, and again. Can't I just be automatically signed in? Ho, no. Because by having you not signed in, it shows you're appreciated here. Let's look at how 2 different workers approach this same scenario. Focused, eager, and typing a lot. Now let's compare that with our other friend. Distracted, bored, and computer screen blank. One may say he's lazy and doesn't care about his work, but we'll call him James. I care, just not now. Talking with your teacher. When asking your teacher about your work, it's important to be prompt and to the point with your question. Richard, can I have a higher grade?
No.
Congratulations! You've now made it to talking. When it's convenient for your teacher, you'll be awarded with a break time. But what can you do? As we've established, the vending machines may talk to you. So have your money at the ready, as your college loves money, and it helps your vending machine laugh all the way to the bank. Your college loves money, hence why it's £3.25 for a sandwich. But one must adapt to the times with the rising costs. Inflation! But going to the canteen isn't the only activity you can do, because you can continue your work. This will make your teacher proud. But how does one get to the front of the line faster? Well, we have a code for you. Stand. Stand, tap, antagonize, noise, and distract. Let's see this in action. Look at this student. He's waiting in line. Now watch as he initiates the tapping. Now he scoots in front of one person. Now for a careful means of antagonizing, watch as they stare each other down until the other person eventually decides to leave. Now make some noise, but you just don't want a simple. You need a whole band. Look how happy they are knowing you just took their place in the line. And finally, distracting a person.
Oh no, I won't be fooled.
Congratulations! You made it to the front of the line.
We caught up with a few students who go here to see what they do on break.
I watch Family Guy all the lunch break.
Yeah, I do cocaine, like on the sidelines, you know.
Yes, there is a lot of students here. Why look, it's regular college goer, Ryan Reynolds. Sometimes the college will feel generous and test out their alarm on a Friday, but don't be too frightened, but also be very afraid. Crawl under the table, run around some more, run around backwards, run around, but in red. As you head to your next lesson, you'll be awarded with a hat. This is so the college makes sure you don't alert the government of potential panic because of the alarm. As the day ticks by, you may feel more tired, or even start to drift off. However, rest assured, or in this case, don't, as your classmate will help you stay on track. Wake up! Your lesson may end early, but that's no reason you can't stay around and see some of the late afternoon fun.
Why, here comes the old 5:15 now, and it's an hour ahead of schedule.
As you make your way around this corner, you... Well, I suppose we'll end it here then, and I'm not really sure how. So, here's some stock footage. What? How'd that get in there? Those darn editors, huh? But in all seriousness, my time in this video is almost up, but yours is just beginning. If you completed all these steps, then you'll go far. Good luck with everything, and I promise there are some amazing people you'll meet along the way, wherever you go. So on behalf of everyone that helped in this and starred in it, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.